Hello YouTubes, this is Grimweird coming back at you with more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mod Pack playthrough action for Minecraft 1.12.2. So I'm looking through, this is going to be a huge undertaking getting into Ender.io, especially since I've not worked on proactively, doing a lot of my upgrading and of my ME system and automating a lot of stuff. So I'm still in the process. I mean, I've got a decent amount of things here. If we look at sort of the state of things, I've got a few patterns here. I've got some. I just made some Invar ingots and Shibuichi alloy ones here. I've got most of the normal ingots ready to roll. I've got a bunch of the dust done. Got some more dusts over here at the pulverizer. So I'm getting there. It's enough to get me, like most of the base metal stuff. But I haven't done a lot of automating of other types of machines. At the end of last episode, I was processing a bunch of stuff through the Empowerer. I wasn't exactly sure, since I'm sort of new to, I'm by no means an expert. So for things like, multi-block structures, for things like the Empowerer from Actually Editions, the metal press from Immersive Engineering, I wasn't exactly sure how to automate them or if they could be automated. Turns out you can just basically slap an ME interface, on the front and back of these conveyor belts, where these covered conveyor belts are, and automate these. So one thing I might do to help myself out is replicate this and create like separate ones for gear, rod, and wire, and plate, and get those automated and hooked up to my ME system. That's going to help me out. I did notice that some people are able to automate this by putting droppers above them. Apparently you can drop things on and off of these and suck them off with, I shouldn't say suck them off, and remove the items, the finished product, from them with probably droppers or some other kinds of thing underneath them. That may involve moving my Empower, since I'm down at bedrock. But anyway, so there's options there. So I need to start looking more and more into getting more and more automation going and more auto crafting going as we break into some of these sort of nastier, higher tier things, like advanced rocketry and nuclear craft and Ender.io. Some of these are just taking a lot of crafting. But anyway, so one of the things I did was I wanted to upgrade my capabilities here. And one of the things I wanted to make was, let's see, forget what it's called. It's called Basic Crafting. Yeah, so this bad boy. There's a few recipes coming up in our future that require this table. If we go to uses, it gives you 5054, because I think it can be used just as any old normal crafting table. But then there are some things that require this, and require this extended crafting type of structure. And so looking into that kind of thing, we needed to get into black iron. And black iron required us getting into like luminescence, and luminescence is easy. Black iron's a bit harder. But anyway, I'm looking at all this stuff and looking what's up ahead of us, and we're getting into some recipes where the induction smelter would really help, and I hadn't gotten around to making one of those. And getting some rich slag out of it would also help for some recipes. So I made one. And again, I'm not that familiar with thermal expansion, and I've never made an induction smelter before, but I had sitting around a bunch of auxiliary reception coils, which apparently will make them run faster. And I thought, cool, I'll just throw some of that in there. And I also wanted to try to make the pyroconcentrator to specialize it in case we needed to do that for increasing yield from ores. But then I got here and it's like augmentation, it says upgrade required, and that's when I remembered that thermal expansion does the whole hardened, reinforced, signalum, and resonant upgrades. So I made some upgrade kits for it. I'm going to slap those on now. So now I can put one augment in it. I think the other thing it does is it allows me to do auto inputs. I think it was disabled before, and now I can enable it. But we're going to go ahead and keep on going because I want to see what this looks like when you put a bunch on it. So we're going to do the now we've got the signalum on there. So now I can have 3 out of 4. I don't have the stuff, I think, to do a resonant. Let me double check that. Maybe I do. I just sort of assumed I didn't. Yeah, Enderium ingots. I'm not going to make a bunch of Enderium ingots and all of that craziness. Yeah, we'll hold off on that for right now. I think I could do that. We made some Enderium for the sharpening kit and to get through the harvest gates by getting some interlilies and smelting them down and then alloying them with some other stuff. So we could maybe do that if we need to, but I don't think I really need to right at the moment. So currently it's going to use 312 RF per tick. It's going to take it to 624, 936. So now the sucker should be fast. I don't think I'm going to... When you put in the pyroconcentrator, it says that blazing pyrotheum must be supplied. So I think I'm going to hold off on that until I figure out what that means. I think you have to put stuff in there. But the things that I want to make right now don't require that specialization. So if we look here, go to uses for the pyroconcentrator. So a lot of the things here, I don't think I need to do. I mean, yeah, some of this would definitely be nice. And I did pick up some pyrotheum from the Nether a couple episodes back, so this might be good. But I don't have a lot of rich slag, so I think I'll just operate this normally for a while and build up some slag, and then worry about it. All right, so we got this, and it's going to go, and it's going to be a beast, and I forget what I was going to do. It's taken me so long because I had to figure out how to make signalum, which I ended up making some Shibuya alloy ingots and then infusing them with redstone. So I melted some redstone here, and then see I have some destabilized redstone left over in the tank. I put the Shibuya stuff, and those weren't too bad to make. They were just silver and copper alloy. So I've been doing lots of stuff like that. And I think I have, maybe this was the thing that I wanted to do in the inductions. Let's see, where is it? All right, this is the recipe that I wanted. So if I look at black iron ingots, if I look at how to make those, the only way to make the black iron ingots is in the induction smelter. That's why I went down this road. And so what I've done, there's different ways to make it. Tough alloy, hop graphite, and etc. I just went the graphite block way as sort of the cheapest, easiest way for me right at the moment. And I've got 14 blocks of Invar, which I did make all the recipes or all the auto crafting things for making Invar, so that made that not too bad once I got it set up. Let's go ahead and try this bad boy out, see what happens. Alright, so unlock that. There we go. And it's off. So now we're making a bunch of the black iron ingots, which we can then go on to try making this fancy dancy basic crafting table. So I think what I needed was, I forget how many I needed now. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I need a total of 9 of these black iron slates. And I have 5. So that's what sort of sent me down this whole rabbit hole. All right. Then I need to make 8 of these, which is going to require whatever this garbage is. I did take a look at this earlier and realized I could make it, so that's good. Didn't count how many I need, but that'll get us started. Oh, now I'm out of something else. Oh, the slates, because I didn't put them up there. Alright, that's more than enough of those. Need to make one of those. And then we need the middle stuff, 2 crafting tables and a block of iron. I can do that. I should have these, but it must need vanilla ones, as opposed to tinker ones, which most of the ones in there are probably tinker ones. Alright, so we have this thing. Where do I want to put this? I just want to throw it somewhere down somewhere. Actually, you know what? I do not use this anymore. So let's see what happens if I throw it down here. Alright, so I got a thing. Now I've forgotten what I needed this for, but this was important to make something else that I wanted to make. So I'm going to pause right here. We've got our basic crafting table, and these are, if we take a look at extended crafting, these are upgradable to this one, which I think goes from this is a 3x3, and I think this is a 5x5, 7x7, 9x9 as you do these. So then they require fancier and fancier things, which actually I might go ahead and upgrade. I might go ahead and upgrade these. Yeah, what the heck, let's go ahead and do that upgrade. I don't think I needed a 5x5 to do whatever I was looking at, but you know, what the heck. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to play around with that some more. I might have to make some more slates and make some more black iron. But so again, just sort of expanding capabilities at this point. Got the induction smelter going. Have started in the extended crafting thing. So I'm probably going to go ahead and upgrade this just for kicks and giggles. And then I'm going to remember what I needed this type of crafting table for, and I will be back in a moment. Alright, and after some more fiddling around and crafting, I am back, and the good thing is, so we've got our extended crafting, basic crafting table, and I did remember now what I wanted to use it for. So when I was looking ahead to some of the other things like breaking into Ender IO, I recognized that there were some other stuff that would be cool to get, and so when I was looking at the gate for extreme reactors, then I noticed that this reactor controller could only be made on the basic crafting table. And that was why I sort of decided that was just to open up this gate and basically just continue to open up gates and expand our capabilities so that we try not to run into too many more roadblocks as we're moving forward. So I got that, and I'm going to try and do this here. I'm not sure if this needs to be in any particular order. I'm going to throw all these on here. See if we can make an expanded one. Oh, and it must be needing a particular order. Alright, so the 4 bangers in the corner, and we got gold, emerald, diamond, and normal. There it is. Alrighty, so I think we can pick this bad boy up now. And plop this bad boy down. And now we have access to the 5x5 crafting. So that's sort of cool. Sort of a side, side track there. But hey, at least now I have it if I need it. And I also now have upgraded the induction smelter. So that's good. We'll find a home for that. This was just temporary where I slapped it up against some power. We'll find a home for that. The other thing I did while I was doing this was I went ahead and any of the pieces in there that I didn't have but were pretty common, I went ahead and made automation for. So again, I'm still trying to expand my automation as I need to and as I go. So what next? I want to actually go ahead and make all of this. I could. Power is not our limiting factor at all at this point. It's more automation and capabilities. So we need to, if I look back here, I think the other thing I was going to look at opening up was advanced rocketry. There are some tools in advanced rocketry that we could probably make without opening it up. In particular, I'm thinking of like maybe the cutting machine and the lathe, maybe the rolling machine too. So some of these machines here at this level, we probably could make them up. Like if I look at the lathe, how bad does that look? It looks a bit complicated, but that's just all normal stuff. That I can do. Oh, I'm going to need a metal former. I haven't made one of those yet. I keep thinking about it, but since it's industrial craft and you got to deal with the power conversion, I haven't actually done that yet. Oh, this is the other thing I noted. So you need this rotochrosite. So I did set up in between the last point and this point, or somewhere recently off camera, I set up my digital miner in a savanna to mine some rubies, so we can make that now. So that was for elite plating. Boron we can do. Crystal binder. Oh, calcium sulfate. Alright, so we got to get into nuclear craft before we can get into this machine for advanced rocketry. Alright, well that settles that. Is there any other, let me see if there's any other machines that I was interested in rocketry. Yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff here. Every time I start thinking I'm getting somewhere in this mod pack, I look a little further down the line and realize that I am totally hosed. That I've gotten nowhere. It's a little daunting for this non-expert. Cutting machine. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, pretty much everything's going to require this elite plating, which is going to require a lot of uranium and stuff. So we're going to have to get into nuclear craft somewhat hard. I haven't needed it for the power, but it's obviously I'm going to need it for components to use in advanced rocketry and other things. So we can add that to the list with Ender.io. Crikey. But let's go back to focusing on Ender.io. So let's see. For that, we are hung up on titanium ingots. And for that, we need this and liquid chlorine. So I'll have to figure out how to make liquid chlorine. But it's mechanism, and I'm on top of mechanism, so I'm sure I can make that. Salt. Yeah, looks like we're going to have to get into a whole bunch of stuff in addition to making this. So this is pretty daunting. Modularium. That I can do, that I can do. This I can do. But it requires ender pearls. See how my ender pearl supply is doing. I've been shooting them with the old laser gun whenever I see them out when I'm running around the world. I got 37. That's not too bad. That's probably enough to get us started. Let me break out. I tried to chunk load my monster farm to see if we could get that running with more stuff. Let's run out there and see if that worked. Not really. Not getting a lot of stuff out of it. I probably need to look into, I think there's that evil, there's like, was that cursed dirt maybe? Here it is. Cursed earth. Alright, so I might have to look at getting... Let's just stay down here. I might have to look at moving from spawner generated stuff to upgrading my mob farm to now get better at doing just the random spawn stuff so that I can get some more endermen spawning in it. Alright, but I'm sort of babbling at this point. So much to do, and the approach to these next couple of mods, Ender.io and advanced rocketry, and even just I have nuclear craft opened, but there's a lot of complicated stuff going on with it, so I haven't gone too far into it since I haven't needed the power. But now that it's clear I'm going to need some of the various salts and stuff that can come out of it, I better figure it out and start working on it so I can get this kind of stuff out, like uranium-238. I've gotten a few from dragons, but going to need to make lots of it apparently. Anyway, I'm babbling at this point because once again I've sort of I did some things. I got an induction smelter going, and I got my advanced crafting table going, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to pause here, check the runtime on this episode, and see where we're at. Alright, and that about covers it for this episode. Just looking ahead, it's clear that what I really need to do is just get into Ender.io, and to do that I basically need to get titanium, and to get titanium I need this advanced metallurgic fabricator. So this beast is what I'm doing next. I got to figure out the best way to make salt and get that going. Got to figure out how to make liquid chlorine and get that going with one of these bad boys and figure out how that works. Maybe, and then I need to start making all of this garbage. So if we look at this structure, this beast that I need to build, I can do a lot of this stuff, I know, but I was checking through some of the recipes, and I'm going to need more fiery metal and tons of stuff. And some of that stuff's going to be annoying to make. Even if I can make it, it'll be annoying. For instance, the machine vent, which I need a few of, has a bunch of these vents. And these vents are annoying because when you get down to the bottom line of it, they take coils, which means I've been just cutting up copper plates with it, but I need a ton of it now moving forward, so I got to make the metal former from industrial craft. So things like that. As I look through the recipe for the advanced metallurgic, let's see if I do this. So as I look through, all of this stuff that I need to make, there'll probably be a couple more machines I need to make. There'll be things I need to automate. Hopefully there won't be anything that I'm incapable of making. I don't think there is. Mutagen has me a bit worried because I haven't gotten into bees and gindustry at all. But take a look at that real quick. I didn't see anything that really worried me, I don't think. So yeah, mutagen appears to just be, redstone or glowstone or something in this mutagen producer. And the mutagen producer, bronze, hopper, sturdy casing, we can do all that. The tank, Certus quartz tank, we can do that. Tin plates, glass, no problem. This, we can do all of this stuff. So that's one of the machines I'll make in between this episode and next. And basically just moving on all the things we need to make titanium and that huge advanced metallurgical fabricator multi-block structure. So until next time, goodbye, and I'll talk to you later.